Hello, Jasmine.
Hello, Hugo.
Hello, Andres.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Watcheando Movies. Just to give you a little bit of background about all of us, Jasmine used to like movies like a decade ago, and now she doesn't.
Yeah.
Andres recently started caring about movies, and I've been a film buff for almost about 8 years now. So what I'm doing is showing them movies and trying to ignite within them a love of film. We're currently doing a director's series. We're doing Wes Anderson, covering 3 movies of Wes Anderson. We just watched Rushmore. And now, Jasmine, what movie are we watching?
We are watching the Royal Tenenbaums.
There were 3 extraordinary children in the Tenenbaum family.
I said sell it, yeah.
Chaz Tenenbaum was a financial expert and started buying real estate in his early teens. Margot Tenenbaum was an acclaimed playwright and won a Pulitzer Prize in the 9th grade. Richie Tenenbaum was a champion tennis player ranked 2nd in the world by age 17. They were brilliant. They were famous. They were unlucky enough to be the children of a man named Royal Tenenbaum.
Spoilers, of course. Okay, so The Royal Tenenbaums is written by Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson. Is this his follow-up film to Rushmore? So this is his 3rd film overall, like third feature film. It stars Danny Glover, Gene Hackman, Angelica Houston, Bill Murray, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ben Stiller, Luke Wilson, and Owen Wilson. It premiered at the New York Film Festival on October 5th, 2001, and it opened in New York City and LA in December 14th, 2001. I think it just opened. It opened in December 14th, 2001. It had a budget of $21 million, and it had a worldwide gross of $71.4 million. At the 74th Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Original Screenplay, and at the 58th Golden Globes, Gene Hackman was nominated for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. It has an 80% Rotten Tomatoes score and an 89% audience score. The consensus reads, The Royal Tenenbaums is a delightful adult comedy with many quirks and a sense of poignancy. Many critics especially praised Hackman's performance. So I watched this film like almost immediately after I saw Rushmore. So it's also fairly recently that I've seen this for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I really, really liked it. I think this is probably my favorite Wes Anderson movie. So, what did you guys have any expectations for this?
I don't know. Okay, so I think I initially saw just like after I watched Rushmore, I saw like the little not preview, but
trailer?
No, just like the image they show after you watch a movie, they'll show like a So initially I thought the movie was going to be about like these rich kids who like lose their inheritance or something, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to be better people to get their inheritance back or something like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was kind of the opposite, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andres, did you have any expectations for this?
No, I didn't really know anything about this movie. Kind of walked in completely blind.
Just knew it was Wes Anderson, that was it?
Yeah.
All right. Any expectations coming off of just Wes Anderson?
Something kind of whimsical, silly.
And quirky?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys gut reactions?
I was not emotionally prepared for this movie.
Go.
Yeah, this movie should have like a
trigger
warning. It's
shit. Hold up.
Trigger warning, by the way.
Trigger warning. Suicide. Okay, go on.
But that being said, if nothing comes out of this podcast, it has at least showed me some of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Why is this one of your favorites of all time?
It is absolutely one of my favorites of all time, I think.
Nice.
I think it's in my top 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Movies of all time? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you like about it?
So when I decide what my favorite movies are, looking back on it, I think for me, the big thing is how much they impact me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie specifically, with that trigger warning, the Neil in the hay scene had a really strong impact on me.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, man. It was intense.
Jasmine?
I like the way he wrote a story about basically an unlikable character. Which was the dad,
Gene Hackman.
Yes, Gene Hackman.
Oh yeah, do you know where he's from? Do you know where he's from?
No.
Have you ever seen Superman?
No.
He's Lex Luthor.
No.
No. Nothing to you guys?
Nope.
No.
Because it's obviously a dysfunctional family, right? But I think there's still a lot of heart to it. Not heart. I mean, obviously that's. I think.
You think any of them are likable?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are I think most, if not all of them, are likable.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Ben Stiller, even Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I think.
Really?
Yeah, they're fine. I'm rooting for them to be successful.
Right.
And I think that's what makes movies enjoyable for me. So I know, like, with a lot of David Fincher movies, I didn't care enough about the protagonist and their story, and I didn't necessarily care if they were successful or not. So I had a harder time enjoying watching it because I was just not invested in their like character development and all that stuff.
So Ugo, did you think Ben Stiller's character wasn't likable?
I think he was, out of all of them, he's probably the least likable. I was hearing something in the background. Anyways, what? Yeah, Ben Stiller's not. I think he's probably the most unlikable out of all of them.
Yeah, but I would say
mostly because he's acting up, right? Because he's, depressed.
Yeah, because he's grieving in a very toxic way.
Yeah.
Well, not toxic, in a very paranoid way, right? Because he's obviously lost. They've all been through a traumatic experience that led to the loss of his wife and his children's mother. So he doesn't know how to, I guess,
how to act anymore, really. Yeah, without his wife. Mm-hmm. So what, compared to Rushmore, Jasmine, how would you say this?
I feel like, I think Rushmore is, I don't know, this might not be correct. And nothing I say is ever correct, whatever. I feel like Rushmore has a little bit more of a mass appeal, just because it's like a coming of age story, and I feel like it's easier to put yourself in the shoes of a young adult trying to find his way, right? Regardless of what he's trying to pursue, I think most people can relate to kind of life changes in that regard. Mm-hmm. And maybe I feel like this one, maybe not as much, especially because I guess the protagonist of this one is this older man who's already lived a majority of his life.
Right, yeah.
And doesn't necessarily start off with him setting out to do something for good. It kind of just evolves in him realizing like important things about his life.
Yeah. Could you relate to the other aspects of it? Of like being a child prodigy and then
no,
and then just later failing as an adult. Yeah.
Well, maybe not that I was a child.
not that none of us were child prodigies, but
I think I can relate to maybe being. I mean, I was in like a prodigy or anything, but I was like in like gifted courses and stuff like that throughout school, and I was always kind of placed higher in my like standardized scores.
Yeah.
And then after that in college, I did okay, but that was it, right? I did okay. And I guess it was hard to, I don't know if it was hard. I think it just, for me at least, I feel like academically was something I felt I was good at, and then I was struggling, so then that kind of knocked me down.
Yeah.
And left me
and you're
uncertain.
like, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what am I good at then?
Yeah.
And I related to that a lot in terms of like, you have a lot of potential as a child, and then you get older and then it's just diminishing, and they're like, oh, what happened to that kid? It's like, oh, he, ended up not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, because I feel like you at a certain point you peak.
Yeah.
And then
they peaked when they were kids.
They peaked so young.
Yeah.
That they had the rest of their life trying to
catch up.
Not catch up, but like.
But like just survive, I guess.
Yes.
It's like everything else is a disappointment to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very relatable. And I think a lot more people probably relate to it than we think.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it's just an extreme, right? Because they're child prodigies from a rich household.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily just that. It's just that transition from growing up and feeling different shoes, or if that makes sense, like trying to come into your own terms of who you are,
right?
and moving on from
Like going into
your
adulthood.
potential, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or your
going into adulthood,
potential.
and it's like a different world and a different reality. Yeah.
Andy,
I, while watching this, didn't even think about these type of things.
No.
I didn't either
This wasn't
until
what I was
Vito
thinking of.
mentioned it. I guess. I guess that's a very big theme, though.
That's the I think in my opinion that's the theme is like having that. It's, and it's probably because I relate to it a lot. Because I'm not gonna get into it, but it's that sort of. It's also very fascinating because I feel like I haven't seen that many movies or even TV shows that examine that of like growing up and then being a failure as an adult when you had so much potential as a child, and being a child, that loss of innocence and I don't know, loss of hope. Yeah. Anyways, did you guys have a favorite scene in this?
Let me see. I think I did. Oh, my favorite scene was when Gene Hackman, when he goes to see, was it Eleanor? And Angelica Houston's character.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm dying.
What'd they say? What's the prognosis?
Take it easy, Ethel. Now, hold on, baby. Hold on. Okay. Hold on.
Where's the doctor?
No, just wait a second now. Wait a second. Okay, listen, I'm not dying. But I need some time. A month or so, okay? I want us to
What's wrong with you?
Damn. Ethel!
Are you crazy?
Ethel, baby, I am dying.
And then he's like, no, I actually am dying. Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
Because he was about to just confess, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe there's like a glimpse of a good guy in there,
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's basically.
But once he saw the reaction, he's like, oh, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, they already hate me. So.
Yeah. And this?
So my favorite scene was
the needle in the hay.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill myself tomorrow.
I was not expecting it to go that way.
Why not? Because it's a Wes Anderson movie?
No, I don't necessarily feel like it's exempt from tragedy, right?
Right.
Obviously, the Grand Budapest ended kind of in a tragic way. Right, we kind of learned that what happened to Agatha and then the baby and then Gustav.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously there's, it seems, right, like it's a very whimsy kind of story, right, what's going to go wrong, but I think there are themes of like deep despair and sadness in a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that.
I think because in the Grand Budapest, it's still shown in a whimsical way. Like we find out through the narrator, right? The bad parts.
Yeah.
In this, it's very
like in your face.
Not necessarily in your face, but it's not done in a whimsical way. It's very real.
Yeah.
Grounded.
Very grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what got me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say that's probably Wes Anderson's most mature scene that he's ever directed. And I think this is his most mature movie.
Yeah.
Ever. And I think not that other movies don't deal with other stuff, but I think none of his other movies deal with trauma like this head on, where it's like it's just about trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, so Owen Wilson co-wrote this, and I think he, in my opinion, I don't know, but in my opinion, he probably wrote that scene on his own because
it doesn't fit.
No, Owen Wilson tried to kill himself.
Oh wow!
Yeah, a few years ago, like 2007, like right after this movie came out. But he did have a suicide attempt. Yeah, so
nice, but interesting.
Yeah, and he, and he was sent to the hospital. Someone found him, kind of like in the movie, and it's very odd how it's very similar.
Yeah,
to how it happened in the movie. I think
Yeah.
I mean, it's very likely he's been thinking about this for a while.
And he was going to do it exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Anyway, changing tones. My favorite scene is when Luke Wilson comes back, and he's sitting there, and then they're like, the narrator is saying, "Oh yeah, it's narrated by Alec Baldwin." I forgot to say that.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's narrated, and then the guy goes,
As always, she was late.
down, and it's in slow motion, and then the song starts playing. It's called "These Days" by Nico, which is a song I really like, and it's a song. Usually, I find music through movies, but I already knew about the song, so I was like, "Oh, hey, I like that song," and I thought it was very like sweet and romantic, the way that was shot. Even though they're they're brother and sister,
Yeah.
Adopted.
adopted.
That's, I don't know. I don't
By the way,
know.
I googled it, and in most states, that's still considered incest, and
Yeah.
you can't get married to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, step siblings are also considered
Yeah.
incest.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
weird part in the movie.
It's like Wes Anderson does that. I think he did that only these 2 times, right? With Rushmore and this one, where it's like
I think he
a
does
forbidden love.
No, I think he does like maybe not forbidden, but like I guess forbidden, but also like complicated love stories. He likes
Yeah.
to do.
Mhm.
Like unconventional, and it's kind of gross.
I don't know about gross, but at least kind of like morally questionable.
Yeah, because like in Grand Budapest,
He's old. He's
he
he's
like has
a-
sex with like 9-year-olds and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And then the other one, it's kind of like affairs and stuff like that, right? Adultery, whatever.
Which
in
one?
Rushmore.
And Rushmore. Oh,
Because technically,
I
Bill
think
Murray
more
was,
like a child and who's in love with
Oh,
a 30-year-old.
I guess so. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that was another thing, right? But there's like a lot of complicated love stories, right? Even
Yeah,
in like
yeah.
Moonrise
Moonrise Kingdom.
right? It was like the whole theme was like first love, right? And then
Yeah.
trying, and then also like broken marriages and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I think those are common themes in his films.
And something else is like, even though these are unconventional relationships, he sort of frames them
Mhm.
as it being very like traditional romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I think that really works,
Mm-hmm.
even in this, because like overall, if you see someone that's in love
You root
with
for
his
them?
sister, yeah, no,
Oh.
with his sister, like you wouldn't be like, oh, you'd be like, ugh,
Gross.
gross.
Yeah.
But because the way that it's framed and the way that
They're
it's all-
adopted.
not necessarily that, but like it has like a sweetness to it and like a
Sure.
tenderness to it.
Yeah, like it's not sexual,
Yeah, they don't have sex.
right? It's
Yeah,
just like
it's very much like they're
I
sort
l-
of like soulmates.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like this person gets me.
yeah, because they would like go away as kids
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. Do you guys have a least favorite scene?
But incest. I'm just kidding.
Yes, when they're in the tent.
No, that scene was actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Least favorite. I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't think so.
No, all right. I just throw that question every, see how it goes. All right then, let's break it down real quick.
Okay, sounds good.
Writing. What do you guys think about the writing in this?
I really enjoyed it. I really like how, personally, what I took out of this movie was like 3 different examples of death and love. And like for death, it's the idea of dying of old age with all these regrets,
Mm-hmm.
and then the idea of just suddenly dying and leaving your loved ones behind, and then the idea of killing yourself, taking your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then for love, the idea of like regaining the love of your family, and same, just losing someone you love and that impact it has on you.
Yeah.
And then what's the word? Something love?
Unconditional?
No,
Unconditional?
where
Huh?
you love someone but they don't love you back.
Unrequited.
Yeah. Because that's what Luke Wilson's character thinks at first, right? He thinks
Yeah, that she doesn't love him.
yeah. And that's why, well, I don't know if that's why he attempts to kill himself.
Well, he does it because
He finds out about all the people
other
she's
people
been
that
with,
she's
but
been with.
I don't
Is that
know.
because
I
it like
don't-
shatters the
his
perspective he had of her?
I don't
or
think
Maybe,
so,
I don't know.
because he's still in love with her. I don't
Yeah.
think it was that
or is it
necessarily.
because he didn't
It
know
wasn't
her?
him.
I kind of feel like it was
Maybe.
because he didn't know
He was
her.
like jealous a little bit, maybe.
No, I feel like because she was so secretive, he felt like he didn't know her, or why would?
Oh yeah.
Because obviously
Maybe,
he was very
yeah.
close to her, so
Oh,
why didn't he open up to
he
her
was the
about
closest
these
one,
things?
yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Alright.
secrets she kept away from everyone, right?
Yeah.
And I feel
That
like
explains why he got so
if you
upset.
feel like you're close to someone,
sorry.
but you see all this like hidden stuff, right? It's like, do you not?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could also for him mean that she doesn't even like care for him or love him, right? Because when you feel comfortable with someone, when you love someone, you share your secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
That explains why he gets so upset when he finds out the husband is like, I think she's cheating on me. He gets really mad and punches the window.
Yeah.
And it was like, huh.
Huh.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's just that realization of
Yeah.
I don't know her as well as I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say something
Go ahead.
about the writing. So like obviously a lot of his stories are very kind of like whimsical,
Yeah.
but I think I would categorize them more as being like a kind of like a pseudo rose-colored type of depiction of life, because I think they seemingly seem kind of whimsical,
But in
there's
reality, they're
there's
dark.
always there's always a moment where how did I phrase this? Because something ultimately like shatters kind of like that perspective of like innocence, and I think a lot of his films kind of have this kind of like innocent vibe to them.
Mhm.
But there's always something that's rough
Yeah.
and
yeah.
forces the character to kind of grow up or change
Yeah.
gears, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, all his films are rated R except for Moonrise
Fantastic.
and
Really?
Fantastic Mr. Fox as well. Yeah.
The Isle of Blast Dogs.
Isle of Dogs is PG-13. Is it R? I don't know. There's a lot of strong language in his films a lot
Yeah.
of times as well.
A lot
So
of
it ca-
boobies
so-
too.
It's a a lot of nudity, and this one there's nudity then for one scene. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great. That was gonna be my runner-up for favorite scene. That montage where she's just like,
With all the people.
with all the people. Yeah, that's funny. I read the script, and apparently the guy that she's making out with in the taxi
Mm-hmm.
is a Puerto Rican teenager,
Oh,
and she's
really?
like 26 at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
Mm.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. What did you get? Traditional structure? Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, even like because I know Alec Baldwin narrates it. It's sort of like in the form of a book that isn't
Yeah.
isn't really a book. But
Yeah.
why did Wes
traditional.
Anderson love that, man?
I don't know. It's like his thing.
Because he did that for this one. He did that for
Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest. I feel like he did it for another one. No,
I don't know.
who knows? Moonrise Kingdom? Nah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah, who knows why? Maybe he likes that sort of storybook
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Oh, I don't know. I had a theory about that, but it kind of goes a little bit into like cinematography.
Go on.
I think it's just based on that video you were watching about like how he frames things.
Oh yeah.
And I think for me, if you were to like retell your story to somebody else, I feel like that's kind of what it would look like, right? You wouldn't necessarily focus on like things that happened in the background. You'd focus more things like in the foreground and on people.
You mean like a novel?
Yeah,
All right.
I think it's like if you're kind of retelling a story, you're not describing like, oh, and then we were in this field and I guess you can, but like not when you're telling a story, right? You don't describe like
Yeah.
the smell of the earth and I don't know. You're just talking about what the person or the things you guys did.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why it's like that. I don't know.
Interesting theory. Excuse me.
I mean, most of his stories are like very much character driven, right?
Oh yeah.
So we don't need to focus on stuff around them. I don't know.
All right. Give me a second. Ah, fucking shit. All right.
What happened?
No, my leg was dying. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why. But I still think it's like a stylized choice.
Yeah.
It's just his bread and butter.
Alec Baldwin has such a great voice.
Yeah, it's
For,
nice.
yeah, especially for narration. Like I'd listen to audiobooks from him.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people don't like him. He beat up a guy or something.
I have no idea.
Man, what?
I don't know
He beat
anything
up like
about.
a guy over a parking spot or something like that.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
At least he didn't kill anyone.
Acting. What do you think about the acting in this?
So acting, I think everybody's
Hold up.
performance.
Okay, go.
So acting, I think everybody's performance was pretty solid. I think my top 3 performances were Gene
Gene Hackman.
Hackman,
Hacker Man.
Hacker Man. Yeah.
Gene Hackman, Luke Wilson, and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah. I will say this is my favorite Gwyneth Paltrow performance
I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
her
in
in.
anything.
I think I saw her in Emma.
Was she in Emma? Oh, the old Emma.
Yeah.
Back when she was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
You seen Iron Man as well?
I guess I have. How you guys?
Yeah.
I don't remember her in Iron Man.
No?
No.
She's.
I know she's Pepper
funny.
Potts or something.
Yeah, she's Pepper Potts. I think she's really funny in that. But yeah, I haven't seen most of her roles either. I haven't seen
Yeah.
like Shakespeare in Love and
Mm-mm.
what else is she in? Some. I don't know. Unless she did a lot of Weinstein films.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I love how she's she's so still
Sad?
sad, and she's very emo, and she's very stilted in her performance.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of like going on. I think.
Yeah, I like
Behind
it.
her, yeah. I love her look in this as well.
Mhm.
I think she looks cool.
Yeah.
It's an interesting style
Yeah.
with the
I
eyeliner.
recognize.
Yeah, eyeliner
Mm-hmm.
under her eyes, and then
Like
you know
the 70s kind of aesthetic.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
yeah.
this whole
The
movie kind of
jacket that
had
she has.
like a 70s
Yeah,
aesthetic.
I think it's supposed to be a modern movie, though. Right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, it looks like the 70s, and yeah, go on. Were you gonna say anything?
I was gonna add anything to that. No.
What were your favorite
yeah.
performances?
Oh well, those were all great. I also really liked Ben Stiller,
Oh yeah,
especially at the end when he's talking to his dad. He's like, "I've had a rough year,"
Yeah.
and he's like, his voice is breaking. I started tearing up, man.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Let me tell you, Jasmine, when he's all like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna sleep in here instead," and then like a little boy goes down and then sleeps next to him. Jasmine started crying.
I almost cried, right? But yeah, because it's like, I don't know. It's sad.
I thought
It's very sweet, but you know they're hurting.
Yeah,
I was getting the impression that the boys were like tired of his like,
Shit.
you're always doing this to us, and then he went to lay down next to him. And I was like, oh, never mind. Like,
they just want freedom.
I think they just
Yeah.
want to have fun.
Yeah,
yeah, they're just kids.
And I think they're
they
kind
wanna
of
have fun.
living a little bit in like a world of fear, right?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
And I
it's very
was
obvious he's like developed some serious anxiety out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the crash too.
Mhm.
Yeah, they lived.
And the
That's-
dog lived too.
They
until
they
he
gotta
died.
have well, I mean, I don't know about the kids, but there's gotta be some survivor guild there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
involved
yeah,
too.
Mhm.
yeah. What do you think about the jumpsuits?
The what?
The jumpsuits?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine was asking me the same thing. I have no idea why. And then at the funeral, they're wearing black ones. They're wearing
Yeah,
black
Those are
jumpsuits.
their
Yeah,
formal.
those are-
That's their formal attire.
Formal attire.
Yeah, I don't.
I have no idea.
I don't
either.
know.
Because he's like a businessman, right? He's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he owns a business. Yeah.
So-
I think.
and he would wear suits when he was younger.
Yeah.
Why did he
yeah.
regress to
You know,
suits?
that's a lot of things. That's the thing in like Wes Anderson movies, where children act like adults and adults act like
Yeah.
act like children.
That was something I was gonna say
So-
about this movie, because all of them at the very start are
Very
like,
mature. and
yeah.
like,
and then later on we're just seeing them kind of,
be dumb.
yeah,
Yeah, because like when there's that moment where Gene Hackman like puts his hand up, like son, and then Ben Stiller just slaps his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I saw half of this movie with my dad, and my dad laughed at that part.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So maybe there's something about that. He's got an afro in this.
Yeah, it reminded me of like Starsky and Hutch
Oh, right. I haven't seen that.
because he had kind of similar hair.
Yeah.
You've
yeah.
never seen that?
I've never seen that. no.
Wow.
You know who directed that?
No.
Todd Phillips.
Who?
You know who directed Joker?
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
What are we talking about? Acting?
Acting.
acting.
I was gonna say Jeff Goldblum, but I meant to say Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's hot in this one.
That's what Jasmine says. She says Bill Murray looks hot.
Yeah.
What do you think about Bill Murray in this?
Looking hot or
Yeah,
his
looking hot.
act?
Do you think he looks hot?
He's not my type.
Wow.
Devin says he looks like a hot professor in this.
Yeah.
Like I get what you're saying.
It's
Like,
the beard.
I'm not
yeah.
gonna disagree with it, but he's not my type.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To each their own, I guess.
What do you think about his performance? Jasmine?
I liked it. It was
Yeah.
I think he kind of provided a lot of the comedic relief in this movie.
Really?
Well, maybe not. Yeah, I'd say him and Ben Stiller and I think Owen Wilson were the ones. I guess also Gene Ackerman.
Hackman? Why
What's
do you
his
saying
name?
Hackerman? Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah. He was in Oscar-nominated movies. Jasmine.
I've
Throughout
never
the
seen it.
70s.
But yeah, I think I'd say that I think he provided a lot of comedy to this, especially 'cause he had
Yeah.
that weird storyline with the
With the one kid.
yeah
who
the
has-
kid was just
Oh,
living
yeah,
with
yeah.
him. I don't know
Oh, he's like researching him because he
Yeah.
has like a lot of
quirks,
I don't know. I was gonna say diseases, but it's not diseases, right? It's like
disabilities.
yeah, I think it's like disabilities or something.
Yeah.
He's very neurodivergent.
Yeah.
So there's that.
One of my favorite lines in the movie is with him when they take him up to the college or something, and then someone asks, "Can you tell time?"
No,
Yeah,
No,
he's just like,
no.
"Ah."
absolutely not. Yeah, and I'll say Bill Murray in this because he usually plays like a wise ass, a smart ass, a wise guy.
Mm-hmm.
And in this he's very meek.
Soft?
Yeah, very soft and very like, oh, don't hurt me, you know.
Oh, is it okay with you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, do you not love me anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
And then Gwyneth is like,
I don't know.
I don't know how to say that. I don't know,
I don't know.
how
I
to,
don't know.
I don't know how to respond to that or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Because like he's a lot older than her,
Yeah.
so you'd imagine there'd be some power dynamics there, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like he's very much the weak
Yeah.
guy. He's like, can I cook you dinner? No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Who else? Owen Wilson plays a drug addict.
Yeah.
Spaces out.
Angelica Houston's there.
Angelica Houston,
Danny
who I've only ever seen in
Adam's Family.
Adam's Family. Yeah.
I think they were kind of like characters. Like
think
I
so?
wasn't like super invested in their romance.
And the romance. Yeah, I would say I wasn't super invested
but
in the romance either.
it was there, I guess.
Yeah, it adds something. Yeah, that's like Gene Hackman's obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that one scene where they yell at each other because Gene Hackman said a bunch of racist stuff
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, speaking of Gene Hackman, there's a lot of tension when they were making this movie
Oh really?
because Gene Hackman hated Wes Anderson.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know.
Nice.
But he would be like, but you got to pull up your pants and be a fucking man. All right.
Oh.
And a lot of the other actors like Angelica Houston and Ben Stiller, they would try to shield Hackman. They would shield Wes Anderson. They were trying to protect Wes Anderson from Hackman.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause
Like-
Hackman was being a real asshole.
Wow.
But Wes Anderson like tries to play it down. Like he wasn't that bad. You know?
I mean, he's never worked with him since. So.
No, this was actually supposed to be Gene Hackman's last movie.
Oh really?
But then he did a few more. But now he's retired for.
I don't know who he is. So.
Yeah. I can't believe
don't
you've
know
never
why I'm
seen
like, oh,
Superman.
really?
Superman. He had a long career, man. Long career. Yeah, cinematography.
It's very distinct,
Yeah.
but it's at this point that I've seen a few of his films are very formulaic, right? And nothing much
There's a lot of like
changes. Yeah.
Would you say last time on Rushmore you guys said you couldn't really find his style all that well?
Yeah, I would say this is when he finally found it.
Yeah.
This is where it's at.
It's very I'm watching a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like it's come close to perfection for it. Yeah.
Sure.
Bigger budget. I mean, it's like what, like 30? What did I say? $30 million. Can't
Sure.
Yeah.
remember. It's a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
That's it for cinematography.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's really not much to say. And
It looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It has a lot
it
more,
looks fun.
so a lot more colorful than
Yeah.
Rushmore.
It's very orangey.
Very orangey and brown, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very warm
Red.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the saturation is like way high.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know saturation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Music. Again, a more
very,
soundtrack.
Yeah, very like modern rock, pop kind of.
Not modern. It'd be like more like 80s, 70s.
Is it okay?
Yeah, because we talked about Needle in the Hay,
I've been listening to that song on repeat for 3 days now.
which kind of sounds like a Nirvana song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Have
yeah.
you ever seen that Batman trailer?
No.
Dun dun dun.
Dun,
Something
dun, dun, dun,
in the
dun.
way. No.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's that, and then there was that Charlie Brown music they were playing.
The Christmas.
The Christmas.
music?
Yeah.
Is this a Christmas movie?
No, it's not a
It
Christmas.
has a lot of Christmas
It is.
songs.
What do you mean? What's the other one?
I don't know. There's a second one, I'm sure. Unless it was the same Charlie Brown one they played at least twice.
It's not even set at Christmas.
I know, but it had. Isn't that Charlie Brown? It's like from a Charlie Brown Christmas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I said. But you're like, no, it's not Charlie Brown. It's just a Christmas song.
Well, now you told me it was Charlie Brown, but I mean, it's still just a Christmas song.
Because it sounds like the opening where they're like,
Christmas
oh
time
boy,
is
or whatever. You know,
here.
I've never seen Charlie Brown.
You're too young for that.
um,
My brother thinks so a little bit. I don't know when Charlie Brown existed. Though.
when it was on the Christmas channel, whatever,
Yeah,
I'd always skip it. Like, oh, what? I'm not gonna watch that.
yeah.
And tell me when Dr. Seuss is on.
Nice.
Yeah. Good use of music. What else is in there? What other music is in there? There's that pop punk one where you see her do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed the soundtrack too much.
Yeah. Editing.
So with editing, does it include
Yes.
like, I mean, we talked about the book stuff, right?
Yeah.
What else? I think there was that scene with the needle in the hay scene where there's like flashing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And he was being reminded of Gwyneth Paltrow, but also the bird.
There was something.
There's a bird. Yeah, the bird.
Yeah, his hawk.
His
Okay.
falcon.
I
Isn't it
don't remember
falcon?
his name.
Yeah. There's also the part where he already cut his hair and he's in the middle of shaving and he says, "I'm gonna kill myself tomorrow." And then there's a flash of him again with his hair back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that, I guess, triggers him to do it instead
Wow.
of tomorrow. He does it now.
Oh, I read that too because I was confused. Were you confused with that?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
thought
Why?
he was.
Because he's like he's gonna kill himself tomorrow, but then he just immediately
Yeah.
tries to kill himself. Apparently, according to Wes Anderson, it's a quote from a movie that the Royal Tenenbaums grew up watching, which we don't know. We don't know this information,
Yeah.
but it's in his mind that they.
Oh,
Grew up
I
watching
took
it.
it more as, do you guys never have those moments where you look in the mirror and you're like, "I'm gonna kill myself tomorrow"?
And you just kill yourself.
No, but like you're thinking about it. You're really sad and you're like,
Like
all right, tomorrow's the
FML.
day. And I thought like he was having one of those moments and he was like, fuck it. Let's do it now instead.
Maybe.
Sure.
I think that'd be.
That's how I took it
Yeah.
as. Like he was really down. He was thinking, all right, tomorrow I'm just gonna end it. And he was just like, why not now?
Yeah,
Mm.
sure.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that looks cool though. The blood coming down.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It looks really cool. That's very. That's a GIF. A lot of people like.
Oh,
did
really?
that. That's a very famous scene on film Twitter. I don't know. You aren't a part of
No,
that.
I'm not on Twitter.
Neither am I. But like I remember when Trump lost, there'd be like Trump supporters right now, and they had a picture of him shaving,
Oh.
and then a screenshot of the song. They'd be like,
Ah.
yeah, that's hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, editing. What were we talking about? Editing? What did you say?
Just that scene,
That scene, yeah.
I think had the most, obviously, like,
The most.
he did a lot of
editing.
montages too. So, like, when they're, like, their childhood,
Yeah.
and then with the Gwyneth Paltrow
Yeah,
secret reveal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I saw that was distinct. Don't think so. Did you guys notice anything else?
Not really.
And then I have directing. Good.
Oh, we usually do that one first, huh?
No, we don't. We just do that
Yep.
last.
Yeah.
Good direction. You know what? I will say. That's good.
So I have a
I
question.
will say that, yeah.
So this was written by both him and Owen Wilson, right?
I know.
But he's a director.
He's a director. Yeah.
So Owen Wilson obviously knows like the ins and outs of the script, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work?
What do you mean?
So like, does that mean like that Wes is like, okay, this is kind of a vibe I want you guys to
have-
do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And let's say Owen Wilson's like, oh, well, I don't know, does he
Well,
have
I
to
When I
say?
wrote this, I had this
Obviously,
in
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
I think they're more in agreement to whatever it comes to
Wes?
his character.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, they with everything else is more like it's Wes's job. Because I don't know, I'm not sure, but usually actors aren't on set unless they need to be on set.
Okay.
So like unless Owen Wilson was like, yeah, on set, but he was already working at this time. So he
Yeah.
was doing other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I showed you little clips of David Fincher directing,
Yeah.
and it's like he's approving like what they can wear,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's like they're very in charge of that stuff.
So is he like, yeah, that's good.
That's good.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's odd? Not odd, but like, so with David Fincher, a lot of actors talk about how everything's very meticulous and has to be framed and positioned in like
Yeah.
a certain way.
Yeah.
And obviously, in a lot of Wes Anderson movies, things are very like staged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? I mean, I've never heard anything about him being super meticulous to the point where like he reshoots.
People are
them.
annoyed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that. How do I say this?
Meticulous.
Well, I'll say he's more
Mean
meticulous-
about it.
Mean about it, yeah. I'd say he's not
Mm.
like super like, okay, guys, if you move 1 centimeter to the left, I'm gonna murder you or whatever.
Is that what David
That's
Fincher?
what David Fincher does.
Does he?
Kind of. I think you hear a
Yeah.
lot of horror stories.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
Wes
yeah.
Anderson looks like he'd be a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd get mad. He'd just be like, all right, guys, let's just try again this
That-
time. Move a little more over here.
That's why Gene Hackman told him,
Oh, to be,
Be
a
a
man.
man.
Oh wow.
Oh, makes sense.
and that's why the other actors were, trying to protect him.
He was a soft boy.
He was a soft boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's sweet. If
I like
you've
him.
heard him talk, he's like very,
Soft.
yeah, he's a very skinny guy. He seems very vulnerable to the world around him.
Does he?
Yeah,
I don't know. He seems kind of sturdy enough to me, but he's also like in his 50s.
yeah, he's pretty old.
He's probably, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but-
Some people don't really grow up, but he seems like. But I mean, I think, especially if you're like a younger director or younger to the directing scene, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot more insecurities, right?
Oh yeah, that's probably
It's
Mm,
harder,
for this
right?
movie.
Especially with like a seasoned actor.
yeah,
It's like. I feel
Yeah.
like they almost feel like they have right to like tell directors.
what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I think you've gotten a few stories like that as well. Where, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something. I can't remember. I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say, so the Ben Stiller with the things with the tracksuits.
Right.
Red Letter Media, long time ago. This is when the Grand Budapest Hotel came out. They talked about how Mike talked about how he hadn't seen that many Wes Anderson films, but he was gonna watch the Royal Tenenbaums, and then he saw Ben Stiller, and he saw that the kids were dressed exactly like him, and then he just stopped it. He's like, I can't mentally like right now with this movie. Yeah, so that was.
That's
Yeah.
an obstacle.
It's like
too
God,
much,
this
man.
movie's fucking shit.
Maybe it's like the practicality of a tracksuit, right? If you have to get out because there's danger, you need
Oh, maybe,
you need
yeah.
mobility.
Yeah,
you need-
yeah. That's
You
why
gotta
they
get out.
wear it when they're sleeping as well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And also, I guess it's easy to
Unity.
tell that they're the children.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're, cause like where there's those scenes where Gene Hackman goes out with them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, if I mean, we can tell who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gene Hackman seems like a fun guy around him.
Sure. I don't.
Yeah.
This is the only movie I've seen him in. I'm pretty sure.
No, but I mean, like just like those.
Oh, and the
scenes,
character.
the character,
Okay, yeah. He seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
I guess. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go with it a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for the most part, I feel like we see resolution with his wife or ex-wife, with Luke Wilson's character, with Ben Stiller's character, but I feel like I wasn't convinced he mended his relationship with
Ben Stiller.
Gwyneth Paltrow's
Oh,
character.
Oh yeah, I
It
don't think we're meant
seems
to.
like there's just like, is it like we're not family? Like, is she not family? I don't know.
It's too much. I think it was too much at that point because
Maybe.
he would always single her out.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
yeah,
obviously it's
that-
been like what 30 some
10
years.
yeah. And like their last scene is that he can't remember her middle name,
Yeah.
which is just
And then also like Angelica Houston didn't seem super invested in her either. I feel
Gwyneth
like
Paltrow?
she paid attention more to the boys.
to the boys.
To like her.
Oh yeah, well Ben
flesh and
Stiller
blood.
stays there, and then she goes to Gwyneth Paltrow and like, hey, your brother's staying with me.
Oh.
She goes, I'm depressed too.
Yeah, and then she
Yeah.
goes. And they
Yeah.
all go.
I like that setup, by the way. I think it's a really clever setup.
Yeah.
Having all of them go back.
Yeah.
I
I mean, that's what happens, right? When you fail at life, you go.
you go live with your parents again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you're married to a rich old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything else I was gonna say about this movie just escapes me, man. You know, oh, you know, there's that one with the daughter. Like he sees her play. He's like, what character? You know, it's just children in
I
costumes.
know, yeah.
Like very offensive.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have any negatives? What would you change?
The incest.
The incest. You'd make them not have a relationship.
I don't know. I guess, or I don't know. It's like weird. It's weird. They grew up as
it is weird.
siblings.
Yeah. I mean,
It's-
that's like,
It's weird.
yeah, it's really weird.
I don't know. It's
It
so
could
weird.
be like, you know, you grew up with like a neighbor.
Like that could
you
have
know?
been. Yeah, that could have been Owen Wilson's character. Could have just been Margot.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. The Falcon thing.
Yeah.
That was actually gonna be originally
Mhm.
Jason Schwartzman. They're gonna be like a little boy that lived across from the Royal Tenenbaums,
Mhm.
and he was gonna be a friend of Eli's or
Sure.
of something, and it was like this little, you know, like downtrodden, like malnourished kid. It was
Sure.
really weird. That was originally what the bird was gonna be. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's why
Okay.
Jason Schwartzman is in this one. In it.
Isn't?
Yeah, because he couldn't do it, so then they had to switch it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does Wes Anderson like, I like you.
Jason Schwartzman. Oh yeah,
Like
with actors.
with actors.
Yeah,
and
he's like, I
just
like you.
keeps
You want to
them?
work again? Yeah. Maybe it's like, well, I don't really want to look for more actors.
He's like, hey, I'm doing a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Which-
like you guys know exactly how I like it because it's very
Oh,
particular
yeah.
ways.
And
like
then
you guys
that's
already
true.
know it.
Just
If you
get
guys
back
are
in
ready
there.
to come back, let's
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this.
Because Bill Murray has said that when Wes Anderson, it's an automatic yes to Wes Anderson.
Okay.
Like if he asks him, yeah, he's gonna do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice. That's nice to
Yeah.
have like actors who. I mean, obviously, Luke or Owen and Luke are probably longtime friends, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
collaborate. I guess Owen's like
college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like of course.
They haven't been the main characters in a while though,
Yeah.
in those movies.
And their careers kind of have simmered down.
Who, Owen Wilson?
Yeah, Luke Wilson. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like they haven't really done.
Luke Wilson was in that one movie where his girlfriend's a superhero. Uma
with
Thurman?
Uma Thurman. That was like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that was it. That was, he was in Idiocracy.
Yeah.
That was like 20 years
20
ago.
years ago. What? Who else
He
was
was
in
in
that?
Legally Blonde.
Who else was in? Oh, he was in Legally Blonde,
Yeah.
right? Who else is in that superhero movie?
Terry. Oh,
Who's the
no,
girl?
sorry. Anna Faris, maybe?
Anna Faris. Yeah, I think it's Anna Faris.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I saw that in the theaters.
Wow, we're old.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, my mom took us to go see it.
Mm.
Is that weird? What's it called? My Crazy Ex Superhero.
Yep. Something like that.
Anyways, yeah. Well, at least they got Wes Anderson, you know, to fall back on.
Yeah.
They should just ask him to, hey, can you make a movie
For me.
for a 50-year-old
me.
man? I know you only like to talk about 30-year-olds or younger.
Kids,
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean, Grand Budapest was kind of a... Who was the main character? Gustav, right?
Zero. Wasn't it Zero?
Was it Zero, though?
Zero's like the
Zero
narrator.
is like
Hmm.
The Great Gatsby, Nick Carraway or whatever.
Tobey Maguire?
But Tobey Maguire's character. But everybody know the story is actually about Jay Gatsby. Was that his name?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final answer.
All right. Yeah. Anyways. Thumbs up, thumbs down, guys.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right. Thumbs up, yeah, obviously. So, Jasmine, you're enjoying Wes Anderson more than David Fincher?
Significantly more.
Anders, are you liking Wes Anderson?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I already liked Wes Anderson before,
Yeah.
and I haven't watched much of his movies, but I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
So, next week, because we're going to upload this
All right. Sounds good.
a week later, we're going to talk about the aquatic life.
Life Aquatic.
Yes, the life aquatic with Steve Sazal. That's coming up. So,
Yeah.
thanks for listening.